hugs. Welcome back to another video with the girl Carol. And today, guys, we are going to talk a little deep, just a little deep on this neckline here. But anyway, it's kind of something that I didn't know if I really wanted to talk about, because I don't like to talk about, I'm not gonna say it's just like dark, but I don't like talking about dark things. I like to uplift, encourage, but still, me talking about this may or will help someone. So guys, this shirt, just excuse it, don't even worry about it, because this line right here, this neckline is, anyway, stay focused, like Tabitha say, stay focused. Okay, so guys, I just want to give 5 tips on how to cope with sexual abuse. Yes. So guys, before we get into the topic, you already know, if you can benefit from some encouraging videos, by all means, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click like, share, and comment. Okay guys, so again, I just want to give at least 5 tips on how to cope with sexual abuse, and quick rundown of why I even want to talk about this subject. Well, of course, I've said it a lot of times. I ain't gonna say 1,000 times, but I've talked about it just a little. But I've dealt with this issue as a young child, to I think like 6 and 7, and then like 10, 11ish. And so for some reason it all bothered me, but for some reason around the ages of 6 and 7, in that age group or range or whatever, it really did some damage to me. All of it did, but for some reason that one stuck with me. Don't know why, but it really did. And I don't think people really realize the mental damage, the trauma that those things cause when some adult or older person takes advantage of a child. Our minds are not even in the sexual state. Our minds are not even prepared to even take on what is being thrown on us, what is, our innocence being taken. And it causes us to cope with life and deal with life totally different than we would have if these things wouldn't have happened. And so for me, I went through life just all over the place. I didn't know how to deal with the emotions that I was dealing with. So I lashed out. I act out. I act out. I would throw things. I would jump out of vehicles. I just didn't know how to cope. And as I got older, I dealt with depression. I dealt with wanting to fit in. I dealt with, I look at sex totally different. It really damages you. And if you don't deal with it, it will tear you up. It will have you all over the place if you don't deal with, that's any trauma. Anything. And I'm speaking on the sexual abuse because I went through that. But that's, there are people who has dealt with someone committing suicide in front of them, or they seeing someone getting killed in front of them, car accidents, parents dying, just it's a lot of things, being homeless. Like, it's a lot of trauma in different forms for different people. And I just really want to say, it's not what you go through, but it's how you go through it and how you come out of it. It can destroy you if you let it. A lot of people turn to drugs. A lot of people turn to other things to cope with it. And I just want to help somebody who has went through it, who may be going through it, and know that I just want you to know that you can overcome every obstacle that has been thrown your way. You can overcome those feelings of feeling worthless, of being ashamed, of feeling like it's your fault. You know, when people come out about it, people turn their backs on them, they tell them they're lying, all of that, and it adds to the wound. So I just want to tell someone, to help someone, look at me. I was broken. I mean, every bit of broken. I didn't know how to deal with my feelings and my emotions. I was all over the place. Sometimes I wasn't pleasant to be around, and I still deal with things to this day. But it shouldn't have taken me. But you know what? I'm not going to even say that, because my journey is my journey. It's all in God's timing. So it was meant for me to get to this level at the age that I am now. So I'm not even going to say that. So everybody's journey looks different, but we all still are suffering together. We all are still, you know, trying to cope in this world with the things that, the cards that we have been dealt with. And so yeah, I don't just want to ramble on, but I just want to this is really a passion of mine, because I know how those things made me feel and how I dealt with life. And it's just like, I just wanted to be happy, and I just never understood, why was I so depressed all the time? Why was I so, and one reason why I was so depressed, because I never dealt with what had happened to me. And I dwelled on every single thing someone did to me. I held on to it. I never let it go. So it was just one bad thing after another, and I just packed it up with me and put it on my back, and I went on with life, and it was weighing me down. But I didn't know how to do anything else but keep it suppressed. That's all I knew. I didn't have help. I didn't know how to even ask for help. You know what I'm saying? And I know that if I would have confided in my mother would have probably been in jail. I know that she 1,000% would have had my back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that issue of me telling her something and she turning her back on me. I didn't have those type of parents. So I thank God for that. I truly thank God for that. But it's a lot of people out here that don't have that support, or you know, so I just want to be that light. But let's get into the 5 tips that help me. So I want to help you to cope with the trauma that I've experienced with sexual abuse. Okay, so I wrote 5 tips down. Okay, so first tip, don't be afraid to speak your truth. Listen, speaking your truth, you might think it's so like, how is that gonna help me? But when you begin to speak about it, and this I'm telling you, this really helps. But when you begin to speak on it, and you're speaking to people who are not judgmental, who are not going to tell you you're lying and talk about you behind your back and make you feel like you're nothing. But when you begin to speak to the right people, or just whoever that is in your life, I'm telling you, it helps. It really is like therapy. It helps. Speak your truth. Don't hold that stuff in, because it's toxic and it will tear you up. You'll go through life lost. Do not hold that in. Speak your truth. Stand up for yourself. Know your rights, and know that you have to speak your truth. Don't hold it in. See, I held mine in. Now, My mom said, I don't think I was 2 talking like that, but I don't know. But she said I was 2. I could have been like 3 going on 4. I don't know. But I still to this day, and I'm 43, I still to this day can see the vision, like the image in my head, like it happened yesterday. And so what's my point in telling you that? What's my point in telling you that? But anyway, those memories are with you for forever. Those flashbacks, those images are with you for forever. And it's not good to just hold on to that. My point was, when I was that young, I told my mama that, but everything else, my mama, and some things my mama still don't know to this day. But it damaged me. It damaged me. It damaged me because I didn't speak my truth. I didn't stand up for myself. And so a lot of times, and my husband, we talk, and he says that I'm a little aggressive in certain areas. And I'm very aggressive when it comes to my family and when it comes to my friends and the people that I love, because I don't want my people to feel what I felt when people turned their back on me, when people dogged me out, so I'm quick to stand in front of them and take the bullet, because I don't play. And I don't want them to ever experience the things that I experienced when I was younger. So I go hard for my people. I'm toning that down because every action doesn't deserve a reaction. God's gonna handle it, and I know God more now, and I know he protects me, and I pray for protection over my kids, my husband, my loved ones, my friends, my family. So I don't have to go as hard because God gonna go hard for me. But that's a lot of why I go so hard, and because of the things that have happened to me, and I just don't want my family to experience that. And that's another thing, when you go through traumas and sexual abuse and stuff like that, it has you thinking in a totally different way. You don't think like everybody else. You don't see things like everybody else. So you on edge, you on alert, you got anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So it just has you moving differently. So yeah, go back, speak your truth. Don't hold that in. Don't hold it in, because it will destroy you. It will destroy you. Okay, so the second tip, and this is not in any type of order, get the necessary help. Get the necessary help you need. I didn't know anything about counseling. I didn't know anything about just talking to someone who would just let me vent and give me some good advice. I didn't know nothing about no coping skills or none of that until 2012, when I became a counselor, and reading treatment plans and just reading a lot of things. I'm like, some of these, let me not steal, but let me get some of these little coping skills, because I could use some of these. I'm dealing with, so I didn't really know anything about talking to someone, getting some help, going to counseling. And the thing, in our community in the past, getting help, therapists and all that had a bad stigma on it. It's like, I ain't finna go talk to nobody. I ain't finna go. Get the necessary help. It will help you tremendously, because again, if you do not speak your truth, if you do not get the help that you need to and get some coping skills to deal with the feelings that you're feeling, instead of lashing out and breaking things and always upset, frustrated, depressed, if you don't get the necessary help, it's going to break you. It's going to have you all over the place, and you do not want to be unhappy. You do not want to live life in fear and anxiety and just all over the place. You don't. Get the necessary help. And that could be a therapist, counselor, whatever, life coach, or a lot of people don't want to speak to people that they don't know. Find somebody that will sit with you and that will let you vent, that will that can be trusted, that won't talk down on you, that won't judge you, all of that won't make you feel like you're wrong, or you're nasty, or you're back in the day that you just was fast, you just fast. And so this is what, no, nobody deserves to be taken advantage of. Nobody. So no, it's not your fault. So don't let nobody tell you that. Don't let nobody make you feel less than. So I'm telling you, get the necessary help. Whatever that looks like to you, whoever that looks like to you, get that help. Please. Please do. Okay. And so this one right here, this is a big one. And you might be like, what? But this is a big one. Forgiveness. This is a big one. It took me, now I'm not telling you go forgive today. You got to do everything in your time and in God's time. And you can't because I'm telling you this doesn't mean when you begin to apply it, everything is going to happen today. Everything is going to happen tomorrow. No, you have to put work into this, because I've been dealing with this since I was a kid, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm coping and moving past my past. So yeah, so it's all in your timing, but forgiveness is a big one. And I know it's so cliche to say forgiveness is not for you, it's for them, but it is the truth. It's not for them. Forgiving does not mean that what happened didn't exist, or you're forgetting what happened to you. No. Forgiveness is so you can let go of that burden that you're carrying, that dark cloud over you. You're dwelling on what they did to you. You're dwelling on how it made you feel. You're just dwelling, and it's bringing you down, and it's causing so much depression. You don't want to be around people, and you don't want to, you just don't even want to do life anymore. So you have to forgive. You have to forgive so you can move on. And it's hard to move on. It's hard to forgive. It's hard to talk to someone. And it's hard to get help, because you just, I don't know, it just have a hold on you. But I'm telling you, when you begin to do these things, you're going to feel the weight lifting off of you. I'm not telling you something that somebody told me. I'm telling you what I know, because these are things that I really did and I'm doing now, period. Okay, so number 4 tip, don't forget to love yourself. Big one. You get so caught up in what has been done to you, you begin to get depressed, you're down, you're out, you just don't feel like being bothered, and you're blaming yourself. You're playing in your head, how could I have did this different? You're just upset, you're yelling at everybody. You're just forgetting to comb your hair, you're forgetting to put on some clothes, feel good about yourself. You're forgetting about you, because you're letting everything that has happened to you weigh you down. And you're forgetting to love the most important person, which is yourself. You got to love you. You got to get back to you. You got to do those things that makes you happy. Those things that make you feel good about who you are. Don't forget you. Don't forget to love you. I know that this is hard. I know it's been hard. Trauma is not easy. Trauma is not easy, but God said He will not put more on us than we can bear. And I know at times it feels like, God, why me? God, I can't do this no more. I don't even want to live life no more. I'm telling you, God does not put more on us than we can bear. And when you realize that, you will look at everything totally different. And I now tell myself that everything that I went through, I'm seeing why I went through it. And God put me here for a reason. God put me here for a reason, and I'm everything that I went through, I will not take for granted. I will not allow it to destroy me. I will not allow it to destroy me anymore. I don't let it destroy me. I did. I was almost about to tap out, but I'm not gonna let it. I'm not going to let it, excuse me, just burping. I'm not going to let it destroy me, because that's not what God put me here for. I'm a conqueror. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. But God put me here for a reason. I went through those things. See, God got his hand on me, and the devil tried to take me out very young. But he didn't. He even tried to put his hands on my kids and turn my kids, not turn my kids on me, but, because that's not what I'm trying to say, but like trying to use my kids. He couldn't get to me, so he's trying to use my kids. But the devil is a lie. They got a praying mama. They got a powerful woman for a mother. So no, you can't have my kids either. So yes, yeah. Don't forget to love yourself. Most important person. Because if you're not together, no one else around you is together. Do not forget to love yourself. It's so easy to when you go through. It's so easy to, but do not forget to love yourself. Okay. So tip number 5, guys. After you spoke your truth and you got the necessary help, and you have forgiven, and you're loving yourself, and you're doing everything to make sure that you're good, you got to let go and begin to turn it around for your good. What do I mean by that? How can you let this go? How can I let this trauma go? This was done to me, or somebody killed somebody in front of me, or this has happened to me. My mom has died. Like, how can I let that go? As long as you continue to hold on to that trauma. And I'm really trying to hold back tears, because I didn't realize that this really is touching me. Anyway, as long as you hold on to that trauma, you will not be able to move forward. You're going to always be stuck in that moment when whatever happened to you happened. You got to let go and use it for your good. And what I mean by that is, begin to speak about it. Help people who are dealing with the same issues that you're dealing with. When you overcome something, or you go a little step further than where you were, help somebody. Help somebody. Grab somebody's hand and bring them to where you are. You know what I'm saying? Because people, it's all about helping people. It's all about helping people. So don't ever in life accomplish something and you hold all the information and you leave people hanging. So yes, let it go. Let go. Not like let it go, but let go. Don't dwell on it forever, because you're going to be stuck in that same spot and you won't ever go forward. You won't ever grow. You'll be stuck. You got to grow. You got to go. You got to move forward. So as you're moving forward, begin to help someone. Use it for good. The devil meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Use it for good. And that's what I'm doing. I'm using looking at my son. But anyway, I'm using what has happened to me for good, because the devil meant it for my bad. The devil wanted to kill, steal, and destroy. But God said, no, I got something greater. I got something greater. So y'all, God has really been a big help in my life. So why would I, when he helps me, why would I hold on to all this information and not give it to someone or not help someone? So yes, y'all. So this was a little hard to get through, because it's still, I guess, it's emotional. It's emotional to just hear myself talk and to hear myself say all the things that I've been through, and to see that I've accomplished a lot and I've overcome a lot. And it just pat myself on the back, because without God, I wouldn't be here. But I'm patting myself on the back, because God can give you all the tools, but it's up to you to take it and do something with it. So I'm patting myself on the back because I took his tools and I did something with it, and I'm doing something with it. So guys, again, I'll give you 5 tips on how to cope with sexual abuse, because I know that it destroys you on the inside. You can smile on the outside, but you are broken. You are hurting on the inside. You can't talk about it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to hear nothing about any, I just want to be that light for someone and tell them that you can overcome this. You can overcome, and you will overcome this. I'm telling you, I was in a dark space for so long. But when God put his light on me and he shined that light on me, y'all, I just can't thank him enough. So again, 5 tips on how to cope with sexual abuse. Tip number 1, don't be afraid to speak your truth. Tip number 2, get the necessary help. Tip number 3, forgiveness. Tip number 4, don't forget to love yourself. Tip number 5, let go and begin to turn it around for good. I hope and pray that anyone that is dealing with these issues and don't know how to cope and just all over the place, afraid to speak out, afraid to share, I hope that I touched you, and I hope that I gave you the courage to move forward and push through. I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone, and know that you can overcome this. Put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Love yourself, and don't be afraid, and don't care what no one else has to say. But know that you can't continue to go through life broken, depressed, sad, upset, because there's so much more to life than this. Your trauma has damaged you, but it doesn't have to take you out. It doesn't have to stop your growth. You use it for good. So please hear me. Please hear me. Get the necessary help. Don't think it's your fault, because it's not. And know that God loves you, and he hears your prayers. He hears everything that you're telling him. He hears you. He sees the pain in your eyes. He sees the pain in your heart. But know that you can turn it around. And know that you can win. Know that you are not a victim, but you're a you're a victor. Is that how you say it? You know what I mean. But yes, guys, so just know that I love you. Just know that you're amazing. And you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. But you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. You got to begin to deal with it so you can get past it and move forward. Whatever trauma looks like to you. This is for any type. I'm telling any type of trauma, whatever it looks like to you. You can manage it. You can move forward, and you can be happy. There's happiness on the other side of the rainbow. There is all kinds of joy, all kinds of just whatever happiness look like to you is waiting on you. But you got to work on you. So guys, again, I love you. Have a wonderful, awesome, amazing day. And until next time, mwah.